Good evening, RPG Limit Break. My name is Devious RNG, and we are here with Game 2 of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Winter Tournament. I am here with the one and only Caleb. Caleb, how you doing tonight?
Hello, I'm doing pretty well, Devious. I am excited for this race. I like both of these runners. I can't wait to see what kind of show they're going to put on for us. This is a special treat, I think. We got Deadpulse coming in hot from a undefeated run through his bracket, and I was one of the early stumbling blocks for him, but he still went 2-0 on me. So Deadpulse's path through the brackets. I wanted to touch on this a little bit. Deadpulse caught Kyleo 13, a duckling, in the first round. And, you know, Kyleo had a decent showing against them, so look out for Kyleo in the upcoming Duck Derby. Caught me, beat me, took on Budge Mono, the reigning Duckling Supreme, I think, right? And took him 2-0. Then took on Chanigan in the round of 8, and I was pulling for Chanigan, but Mystic Quest Randomizer can only get you so far. And then taking on another, my cohort in the food comms, or not food comms, but the food channel on the server, Pickles and Beer, 2-0. And then that leads us here. So up one game on ADR, but don't let that fool you. ADR, whenever, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but whenever ADR has lost a game 1, he has won game 2. So ADR could be, you know, pulling out some dramatic moves here. ADR's path through the brackets, similar pathing as or similar style, where caught a couple newer players early on, taking on Captain Nerd in round 1, Krellin in the round of 32, then Hate 13th in the round of 16, and I think that was the round where everybody kind of looked at ADR like, oh, he's for real, because Hate the 13th is no slouch.
Right.
And then, much to my own, this is when I became an ADR fan. He ended the year of the Woo.
Ooh.
Dang Woo, I love the man. He's one of my favorite people in the community, but it goes back a long time. But ADR, oh, we're off. Okay.
And we're in a Christmas Wonderland too.
So Harm 4, Life 2, and Biz 2. Harm 4 is going to be great for that Force White Mage.
Yeah.
But
I mean, and that essentially, and Deadpulse's Red Mage actually gets to pick up that Life too. So I think we were going to finish up the tournament bracketing, but we will end up talking about the Blursings in a minute once they head up towards Topher. So go ahead and finish the bracketing, and then we'll swing over.
Yeah, so not a lot doing here in the Black Magic shop. So interesting that White Mage could be a little bit more important than we anticipated. But ADR's pathing, a lot of newer players, some veterans there, but then in the back end, Danglu Demon Frog, some tent poles of competitive FFR. So not an easy road for ADR to get here, but he's earned his spot here. And we're Thor hammering down some imps as we walk up to Topher.
Yeah, and since it was already brought up a little bit, we are going to talk about the Blursings, because you do notice we have our typical 2 forced party members. We have our Thief White Mage, which, if you're going to ask for a forced set for the finals, Thief White Mage, classic meme run. But we do have one difference in party. Both of our runners chose to take that fighter. Deadpulse vying for the Red Mage, whereas ADR is taking the Black Mage. And some of that has to do with the Blursing. The fighter, there's no question you bring a fighter here. +5 luck, +20 strength, -15 HP.
Yeah, that's basically almost a free temper there.
Oh, absolutely.
So simultaneous Garland pulls here.
And simultaneous Garland defeats as well.
ADR actually first back because he already leveled up on the way to Topher.
That awkward moment when levels cost you your run.
So
but
Chime
early Chime.
Yeah, early Chime So I would imagine we're going to quickly walk back to TOF here
Mhm.
just to see what our 3 orbs are. I
Oh,
haven't actually played these flags.
yeah. I don't know about
don't-
that because I feel like you don't really need to check the orb yet. You know, especially if you end up getting that like the airship like mid game.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
both of our runners deciding to skip just because at some point you might wind yourself back up at that area, and then
That's fair.
hey, I'll jump it in quick instead of wasting the run.
That's fair. That's a good point. Deadpulse first to the pirates, just showing that cruising speed that he's got.
Hmm.
We'll
Yeah,
see
I
who
think
gets
that's
better.
I think that's one of the things you can't discredit or discount on Deadpulse is just the efficiency of everything that he does. Even there, getting those couple seconds back from King to Bicky just on menu choice, inputs, things like that, which means that ADR really has to bring that quick decision making, quick prep, and really making the lucky choices to bring it back.
So yeah, you can see ADR pulling the trigger, buying those houses now. Deadpulse waited, checked the armor shop, and then came back. So this is the game of inches right now. Nothing really doing here in White Magic level 2. Level 2 Black, got Ice 3, Lock 2, Temper. Pretty good magic. So
Yeah.
the Red Mage came baked in with that Temper at level 8, but ADR mentioned in the race time chat that it's almost a trick because you're only going to have those 2 charges of Temper for a long time before that. Oh, and here comes the werewolves with Quad X, showing Deadpulse that he should have ran the Deuced the whole time. But the level 2 Temper is sort of a bailout there, so that Red Mage is going to have a lot of Temper, but that Black Mage on ADR side is going to get it a lot quicker.
Right.
So, and the Thief and support will also have it. So,
yeah. So speaking of, just because we didn't get through all of the blur sings yet. Speaking of that Red Mage has not only bonus Temper, so there's extra 2 Temper casts. They also have the Wood armor set adds evade and minus 10 hit percent. So you might be curious of why Deadpulse might be throwing Wood armor directly on his Red Mage, and it would be to drive up that evade so that he doesn't have to worry about physical damage.
Absolutely. All right, ship from the old men. We are a canal away from breaking out of the NRC here. No shop item yet.
No, we did see the shop item.
Oh, we did.
It was yeah. It was max. I think max roll. 47,000 gold pieces for the loot sitting there in Crescent Lake.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe it's signed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So Paul.
Hold on. Who would sign the loot in the Final Fantasy universe?
It's Sarah, right? It's hers. You're right. I feel like I don't know. Maybe,
so.
I guess we could throw it to the chat, see what they say.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll come up with a cute pun.
I'm feeling it might be I don't remember their name, but there's the elf gravestone.
Oh, Erdrick?
Yeah. The irony, I'm like, hey, is ADR listening to me? I don't understand. Checking the gravestones.
The imps are safe. So, interesting magic here. We had level 6 exit in its vanilla position. We had level 3 warp. Now, ADR is going to head to the river dock here to do Marsh Cave. I wonder if one of our runners would be so bold to take that level 3 warp and go back to ice.
Yeah, that would be a bold play. I feel, well, one of the kickers for me is that level 4 harm, that level 1 harm 4 that's sitting on that white mage. If I have harm 4, fire 2, fire 3, that's going to push me a little bit further towards, and cure 3 in life sitting there at level 3 for white magic.
White Magic's pretty good. Pretty good so far. And ADR with the early Marsh lead here. Deadpulse taking a little time, a little thorough in his Crescent Lake checks. Gargoyles, Lightning 2.
Yeah. Well, and gargoyles are in a lot of different places. I think they're definitely in Volcano. I think are they in Earth as well?
Yes, a lot in Earth. They show up in Apex.
Yeah. So like anything that's gonna have those gargoyles, I'm gonna try to push a little bit further back.
We got our own Lightning 2. Ice plus 2 sword and a Zeus Bonk.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
And they have damage poison.
Okie dokie.
Oh god, that's first spell lit to first skill damage poison.
This is I mean, we see ADR just resetting. Deadpulse is also going to catch those gargoyles because it looks like he's doing the same hard resetting counter coming in. We'll see if Deadpulse gets that Deadpulse energy and gets that first turn run with the thief, that kind of thing. We know these werewolves have quad X as well, so this is a dangerous fight for ADR too. Yeah,
and I wouldn't be surprised if ADR skips this Zeus Bonk and maybe even skips. Well, I'd probably pick up the Ice 2 sword, but you already have your Thor hammer. You don't need that rune sword. You don't need like the Ice plus 2 with the plus 20 strength on the fighter will carry you for the rest of the game. But yeah, I try to minimize my steps.
All right, so we're gonna take this fight. I don't hate it with the harm 4 if we get good turn order here. Oh, there goes the bad turn order. So the fighter can kill these with one hit, so I just gotta keep getting lucky turn order here.
Yeah, and you're already seeing that the difference of that plus 20 strength actually going on the fighter. Normally we wind up with that on like the white mage or something. That's not really going to be helpful, but you put that plus 20 strength on the fighter. You said it earlier, temper is kind of an option for this early game now, and if you get fast, like you're not worried too much.
Checking the better trap treasure. ADR. I love ADR.
Yeah. Which
it's pretty good.
It's interesting because that's usually a Deadpulse play. He really likes to go for that better trap treasure when he gets Key Marsh, just because, especially because it has that extra trap treasure, that extra trap tile. You can tell that Deadpulse is respecting ADR as a runner and cutting every corner to make sure that he gets through this as fast as he can.
Yeah, and it looks like Deadpulse didn't go in on the same encounter table. Stay Hags with Stone Poison, because I didn't see him take a single gargoyle fight. So getting that Deadpulse luck through Marsh pretty good, but we'll see how that pans out for him going to other places with gargoyles. Yeah.
So already we have Stones to Hags, which makes the river system dangerous. We have Lit 2 Poison Touch, Lit 2 Damage Poison Gargoyles. We have Quad X Werewolves. There's not really much safe.
Yeah, the overworld's a scary place. Alright, Cloth plus 5. I mean, like, can we talk about that? How it's almost chain armor? Like, it's so good.
Yeah. Like,
never mad at Cloth plus 5.
Cloth plus 5. If you find them gloves plus 3, like, do not discount the blessings on that very little amount of armor that your mages can wear.
Oh no, sharks also have lightning too. Spicy.
No, ADR. I'm feeling for you, man. This is the tough break.
I mean, leaving the thief stoned isn't terrible. still going to get some of that benefit of having a thief up front. So, yeah, but
going back on some of the items that we picked up earlier, we found that key in Marsh. We found the crown was on Sarda, and TNT was here in our Titan's Trove.
All right, what's Astos gonna have? Ribbon +4. That's real. Early ribbon is great.
Yeah.
It does make my eyes kind of pull more to Ice Cave because we found Ruby, we found Tail, we found Ribbon. Only the Vorpal exists in the pool that we don't necessarily want, but Vorpal, positive Vorpal with a +20 fighter is pretty good.
Yeah. I know Deadpulse favors the X-Cal as his weapon, but the crit rate on the Vorpal plus that +20 strength puts it up to another level.
Ruse stick here in the northwest sort of storage room. Astos' private collection.
And it's a nice thing to be keeping in that private collection.
Yeah. Not mad about it. All right, Deadpulse. Checking the dwarfs. Hey, a Procate. Hell the money.
Yeah. Well, and you... Hooray! And you get the benefit of picking up these extra chests down here. You have a chance of lazy dwarfs.
Yeah.
Or Nerb.
ADR. When you're in your menu, equip that silver bong +5. That's almost a pro rank +5. It's good absorb for that fighter to have.
Yeah.
But nothing really doing here in the dwarf armory.
Yeah.
But we did get an herb for the TNT. Are we going to get passive aggressive dwarves? They're not talking to each other anymore. You gotta go talk to their middleman. There's some elf, just like, and the fact that it's dwarves and elves is just
rubbing salt in that wound.
Yeah, my Tolkien fantasy lore is just all messed up. Or is it gonna be crystal and it's just like money laundering dwarves?
Hey!
Yeah. You do enough of these, man. You can anticipate it. The way the logic works. Now, adamant will probably be floater.
Just because.
Yeah. Or it's crystal the light cube.
Thank you for this heavy piece of metal. Now I will build you a floating ship.
Alright, ADR also going to get the bummed out news that all this has is just money. Unlike that equipment.
Yep, Pro Ring +3 sitting in the Elfland armor shop too.
Yeah, that's
which only like for 5,000. That's beautiful.
And rumor has it that Death Touch in these flags is Death Elemental, so that Pro Ring should. That's the rumor. I mean, I haven't really found it to be true because I get Death Touched all the time. That's just I just have bad luck, I guess.
Yeah. White Mage continuing to be really the damage dealer with that fade at level 4 as well.
Yeah. The ideal party might have been double white.
Yeah.
Thief, fighter, double white.
Well, because that White Mage also has +10. Well, we didn't talk about White Mage bonuses. Perfect time.
Yeah.
The bonuses to the White Mage are +10 luck and legendary swords, which means that White Mage can equip your katana, your your Vorpal, your X-Cal. I think it's those 3. So anyone...
Yeah, Vorpal, X-Cal, and katana, yeah.
So Adamant turning into the floater as predicted by Caleb.
Yeah. You do enough of these, I'm telling you. Now, I'm looking at our notes, courtesy of our wonderful tracker, Maple, and I see level 6 magic has fast and nuke. Which means our red wizards might not get fast. I did not see what slot fast was in, but if it's not in that top slot, the Deadpulse will be locked out of fast, which might be a consideration for him. I know fast is a big part of his in-game goals. If we find a Black Mage, he may take it.
Yeah. Well, that I was just going to say. And for those of you who are also coming in, we are on game 2 of the finals for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Winter Tournament. Deadpulse versus ADR. Deadpulse up 1-0. These particular flags require 3 orbs to be lit, but those 3 orbs are hard required. So if you check the black orb back in Temple of Fiends, then it will tell you exactly which orbs need to be lit, and our runners have to complete those 3 specific dungeons. When you go to your dungeons and you defeat your fiend, there will be an extra character that is locked behind that fiend. So, after you defeat Lich, you might end up finding a black belt sitting behind Lich that you can then trade out for one of your party members to use for the remainder of the game.
Bahamut is going to Ordeals before turning in the Adamant. Deadpulse did the other thing, got the Adamant, and is now promoted with the floater. We did get an Opal Bracelet +3 in Bahamut's area, along with a crystal. So I would imagine for Deadpulse, we're going to go turn in that crystal, and while we're down there, check the black orb and see what we need to do. Do we need to dig out that cube? Do we need to find the Oxyale? Or do we need to find the rod?
Yeah.
Because only one of those dungeons is free right now.
Yeah. And great question by Nintwindow64. What is randomized? Most things. So all of the treasures are randomized, all of the magic is randomized, all of the enemy skills and spells are randomized. They have different amounts of hit points, they have different stats with strength, defense, so on and so forth. Everything but Sky, it looks like. And our runners are going to have to make amends to figure out which enemies are safe, which ones are most dangerous, and hope they find some gear in a chest that is actually going to help them finish in the end game.
Also, a question from Knitwindow. I mean, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com has everything you're looking for. FinalFantasyRandomizer.com has links to the wiki where you can learn about what all the flags do. There's also tooltips on the website, as well as links to the Discord, so you can come hang out with us and get involved. The Duckling Derby is ramping up, like the Duck Boot Camp, for all the new players to kind of learn the game and get sort of a curated experience into what to expect when you're playing the randomizer. It's a wonderful program. It started a long time ago with in the great before times with Tarnan and Moist Mogwai, and then Greg Lee Puff was our Duckling Don for a long time. He passed the torch, and then now it's currently with Saracen and Luffy DV.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And turning back to the game, we have ADR finishing up his trek over to Bahamut and Ordeals, and Deadpulse in the air, checking on the orb, checking the trap treasures in Temple of Fiends. And honestly, I'm looking at ADR's play of going to Cardia and Ordeals. Yeah. That's the kind of play I would have made. I mean, it's the risky play in a way, but once you find with the fast ship, typically the boat moves substantially slower than what it is in these flags, and with a slower boat, you can't make that kind of trip. But with the speedboat, it actually is a little bit faster to go to Ordeals with speedboat, and you don't really lose too much from that.
Especially if ADR, he's going to check the black orb. I would imagine, I'm hoping we also remember returning that Adamant, and we didn't memory hole the Adamant.
Yeah.
Because Deadpulse killing these eyes is going to give ADR a little bit of time to catch up. But we see level 14 across the board, and we're talking to Bats. I can never do this fast enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Powerful attack.
And Cure 4. Oh. You got a new cure for chaos.
Yeah, and I think it said pretty thick, so that means high damage absorb.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a nasty chaos, is basically what that bat said.
I wonder. I hope this isn't our commitment here on these blue Ds, because they are much bigger than those eyes.
Yeah. Well, so again, to go off on what's randomized here, those eyes are normally a horrible enemy in the vanilla game. Lots of I believe they have a lot of instant death spells, not the kind of thing you want to fight, which is why they have so much experience.
First turn quad X before pro rings are even available in the game.
Mm-hmm. And so in the randomizer, eyes are a beautiful thing to find because often they have like 100 or 200 hit points and no spells, but they still have all of that experience you get to siphon off of them.
Yeah. It's almost, when you think about the randomizer, and when someone asks a question like, what is randomized? It's almost like, what is still vanilla? It's like the map, which you can change in the randomizer. We do have procedurally generated overworlds. We do have entrance and floor shuffle, so it looks like the original game, but you walk into the dwarf cave and it's the mermaid floor, or it's straight up entrance shuffle and you walk into the dwarf cave and it's Astos.
I still feel like one of these days we might end up with a tournament that's very fixed on some of these more, I would say, advanced flags or non-vanilla flags, because you have your entrance and floor randomizer, you have proc gen overworld, but you also have chaos classes where essentially what it does is change all of the equipment, all the spell permissions, all of every single stat of every single class in the game, and create 6 new classes for you to choose from. So essentially with our devs here, which we have a very active development team, there are literally hundreds of flags that you can change to customize this game.
Ooh, ADR may have just gotten the weirdest good news. Those Sahags just blew up his entire party except his fighter. He is carrying around 3 statues. Please, ADR, go check that Hall of Giants and just eat your eyes.
Oh no!
We're gonna turn in the slab first. So this is fine, but go to Earth, check the spike tiles. You're in primo grind setup. And there's metal slimes too. Jeez Louise. And dragon armor +2. Turn left. You overshot it. Go up. No. Oh, all right.
Yeah, it looks like he's heading to Ice Cave.
Oh, drink some water. Or Lefane.
Lefane, maybe?
Yeah.
Oh, no, he's gonna... it looks like he might res.
Okay.
Maybe? Oh, he's buying his loot.
Gonna get a handful of softs. Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a nice little pit stop. Pick up all your end game materials that you need.
Now, if he does like a hard, I didn't see the encounter table if there's a hard reset fight, but I mean, if we caught T-Rexes, that'd be something else. Gonna do Lefane. If Lefane is Onrak, if Lefane is the Oxyale. Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, little baby. Katana +3. What am I supposed to do with all these swords? Alright.
Yeah, let's see, that thief. That thief has red mage armor, resist death, fire, and lightning. So that, I mean, already, that's a nice bonus on your thief. but Malice and no promo spells. So you're not going to get a thief that's
right.
casting that
That's right.
temper.
That's right.
And we're going to get our first look at a locked. Ooh, another fighter.
Dang it.
Yeah. I mean, that white mage is doing the thief's job, and you already have +5 luck on your other fighter. I mean, give that white mage a katana and just go to town.
Yeah. Alright, goodbye, Lich. Level 21 across the board. There's a bottle for ADR. The fetches are coming. Oh, we got a life reboot in chat asking for a recap. Sure. Stuff happened. No, I'm just kidding. King and Princess, we got Chime and Tail, Vicky with the Ruby, Sage gave us the ship, Crescent Lake had the loot for sale, we got a key out of marsh that led to a canal, the Titan gave us the TNT, Sarda gave us a crown, which turned into a ribbon, so we're just doing like a hat exchange. We got passive-aggressive dwarves with the TNT turning into the herb, turning into the adamant, turning into the floater. Bahamut had a crystal, Matoya had the rod, Ordeal had the slab, which just translated into a bottle, and I don't think we've turned in the bottle yet.
Yeah.
We have to go to Earth Cave, we have to go to Sea Shrine, and we have to do the volcano. So no sky today. We have to scary everything on the world map, but you know, we're not on the world map anymore. It's fine.
Yeah,
Fast was slot 1, so that red wizard is bailed out with fast access. So everything looking okay for Deadpulse with his first orb lit here about 2 minutes ago. Heading into the ice cave, ADR heading out of Lefane. Got distracted by the mall here. It's just wonderful to see.
Yeah, that Lefane Superstore is a very nice flag, especially with, I mean, period. But
yeah,
essentially,
I get mad when it's not on.
Yeah, it gives you all 8 of your magic shops one right after another, so you can collect all of your endgame magic at once. And
I was gonna say the only exception being the Gaia shops. The Gaia shops won't be in there.
Right. Lost my train of thought. Oof. That's what it was. Well, I was gonna say, Bottle and Ice Cave are the last. Oh, there must be one more.
Waterfall.
Waterfall.
Waterfall to Oxyale. You hate to see it because you don't want to do Waterfall until you've got Oxyale, right?
Right.
And Deadpulse still has to do Ordeals. So ADR has to do Ice Cave because she's going to do Ice Cave probably because we're heading to the volcano.
Right.
Interesting. So not a whole lot separating our runners. ADR with a little bit more exploration. Deadpulse with the orb and the levels.
Yeah, Ordeals had the slab. So so slab leading to Bottle leading to Vorpal means that Deadpulse is less likely to actually, I was going to say Deadpulse less likely to do the Ordeals check, but that's a tough thing to say.
It is, but Deadpulse likes to make you a liar if you say it out loud. So
actually, I think I heard a confession from him that he's moved away from the hyper early Ordeals recently. So we've got a slightly different perspective on well, if given the opportunity, most of the time he'll be there in 5 minutes. But especially in some of these flags, he's been shying away from that early Ordeals play.
So +5 ice armor, +5 gold bracelets. Has there been armor that's rolled down? +2 opal bracelet, +2 dragon armor, +2 opal shield. Come on, Danny, you're supposed to be.
Well, that katana actually rolled positive with a force.
So did the Vorpal. So did the Vorpal.
Like,
what are we even doing here? Danny, we need your badge and your gun on my desk by noon. You had one job.
See, I like this play from ADR to keep going with the fighter, the solo fighter, picking up some of that extra experience. Not quite sure how I feel about doing the solo carry.
He's got a roost stick. He's got a roost stick and a ribbon.
True.
Like he should be fine.
Well,
like,
and he's got armor for days, so
yeah. It's like he warps this into like a walking grind.
Yeah.
Like this could be huge because he's gonna pick up time. What Deadpulse is around level 21-ish. ADR didn't get a level there.
I think he's 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah. Granted, the rest of his light warriors won't have the levels, but
right. Well, but they also don't need as many levels as that fighter is going to be. Because especially with Temper at level 2, I mean that the black mage is already going to be serving its purpose.
It's funny. Deadpulse for the second time walking into a fiend room. I see the light warrior there. I'm like, why is that light warrior facing the camera? I've gotten so used to like just guessing the sprites from behind. We got another thief as Deadpulse gets the quad X off. And
is that 7 hits, 18 damage?
Yeah, like we're fine. 4 hits, 14. Like, Carrie's got to hit the gym. So, Deadpulse lighting orb number 2. He will fall down Ordeal's hole, as ADR will fall down the ice cave hole.
Yeah.
But ADR might just reset out too.
Yeah. Well, and he has exit, so there's no real reason for him not to do that.
That's fair. And we just poured some lotion on her. We put the lotion on the light warriors. I mean, it's wintertime. The winter tournament's drawn to an end. It's tough out there. You got to keep your skin hydrated, keep it moist.
Yeah, you don't want to have that dry, crackly skin.
I mean,
it's not a good look.
My elbows get ashy. I get it.
Yeah. Well, actually, my big thing is the lip stuff. Because if you lick your lips, lick your lips too much, and you get burn. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I was with you when you said lip your lips. Like I know what you meant. You got to walk that back. All right. So as our runners are sort of like crossing over each other's paths here, it is my tradition to ask our runners a little question about food. That's what I like to do. The spring is around the corner. Cookout season's coming. I wanted to know what our runners were most looking forward to. And Chad, I want to know what you're most looking forward to this coming spring as the weather gets a little bit better and people start cooking outside. What's your cookout go-to? And Deadpulse is a meat and potatoes simple kind of guy. He's steaks and bakes on the grill, like baked potatoes. And I've never done baked potatoes on the grill. Although I'm not a big baked potato guy, I'd rather French fries.
True.
You could put a 48-pound bag of French fries in front of me, and I'd find a way to get to the bottom of it. It's like I have a problem with French fries. They're so good.
They're so good. They're so good. It's hard to find bad French fries.
Right? Like even bad French fries are like, I mean, it's still a French fry.
Yeah, exactly. That just means you put a little more salt and ketchup on it, you're good to go.
Yeah. And speaking of ketchup, ADR, the true agent of chaos, just is perfectly okay with a hot dog bun and some ketchup. Don't even need that hot dog, just the bun and some ketchup. So I'm like, all right, I see you. But he did clarify he doesn't eat a lot of meat, so he only eats like 10 pounds or so a year, which is good. I mean, his heart probably loves him. As now both of our runners are into the waterfall. This should be Oxyl straight up, so Deadpulse won't go all the way down the slab bottle hole unless he wants that work. Lots of good answers in chat. Barbecued chicken while camping, bratwurst, grilled tyro. Where do you get tyro at these days? In this economy? This guy's got tyro money. Davian hog, brats and beer. It's a classic combo. Mapo tofu. I've never done. I want to do tofu, so I'm going to be going with the me and the missus are going to be headed up to New York City a couple months, and we're planning to go to Chinatown. We're going to hit up this this tofu place and like buy some tofu to do Aegis +3, Ice +3. Come on, Danny. What is this? I'm here trying to talk about tofu, and these guys just got shields for days, man. X-Cal
And
plus
the X-Cal +2.
Alright.
This is supposed to be the 5s.
Saber +5, that might as well be an in-game weapon too. Saber +5. I mean, Ale's out there. He's lurking. He knows about that Saber +5. I'm gonna actually fire up my grill this weekend.
Yeah, you made me really hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some steak tacos in like the al pastor style, with like sort of like that pineapple and marinade, and yeah, I'm gonna make some molcajete salsa. Super fun. I'm so excited. It's only Tuesday, but I'm like, can Friday get here? I want to make these tacos. All right, ADR gonna take out this seafood party pack. Get a little bit of XP. It is eating up a little bit of time. Like you said, when you're racing Deadpulse, the execution machine, you gotta almost hear that like Chris Berman-esque ticking. Like,
Yeah.
tick. It's going.
Mhm.
Like, you gotta hear that clock.
Yeah.
He's doing okay. He's still gotta dive Earth. I don't think we checked the Hall of Giants.
Nah, he didn't check the Hall of Giants yet.
Yeah, so like I don't know if he will.
Yeah, which I think you have to be in the mindset of like so I wonder what ADR's mindset is. Is his mindset walk and grind, or is his mindset, I'm going to have to find a grind somewhere, or is he just gonna say my equipment's good enough and I'm just gonna hope for the best and get to Topher as soon as I can?
Yeah, I think you gotta err on that side of like going fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you kind of got to.
Yeah, well, especially with the early temper, the +20 strength on the fighter, it's you don't need to do a grind, but especially we're.
I mean, because we got life access on the knight, so yeah. I mean, you got a ribbon, you got an in-game weapon for sure now. Like the only thing that the nice to have that we don't have is a power block.
Yeah,
but I mean that's the nice to have.
Right.
It's not required.
Yeah, and Fabian Hawk bringing up like ADR has the Vorpal +4. Like if you have the Vorpal +4, that's gonna push through a lot of that defense plus the +20 strength. Like,
that's true.
There's so many tools, and with all the armor that we have, you're not really gonna die. So
we're not opening boxes anymore.
No.
So good on ADR.
Yeah, you don't need boxes at this point. I think the one question I would have is what is the thought for levels? Because I think that's one of the bigger differences of Deadpulse checking those early trap tiles. As soon as he found the eyes, taking that to 20 with his whole party, and now it's okay. Not only do I have the armor, not only do I have the weapons, I also have the levels, and I'm just going to walk through the whole rest of the game.
So Deadpulse, around 40 minutes 30 seconds, full on go mode. We're just gonna check out the last little bit of shopping. We're gonna buy some magic for the night, and then I bet we dive. dive. ADR still has Earth Cave to do.
Yeah.
But like you said, ADR's got a little bit more of a robust toolkit with the swords. Like, sure, Deadpulse has got the katana, but are we banking on the thief to carry us on those the thicker fiends? And where ADR's got that Vorpal. So,
well, where did we pick up that katana +3? Because I don't remember if ADR picked that up.
It was Earth 4.
Earth 4. Okay, so ADR hasn't picked that up. We don't know because he hasn't gone through Earth yet.
Yeah.
Knowing what he's doing. So Deadpulse has katana +3. He's probably using that X-Cal +2. Or he's throwing the X-Cal +2 on the White Mage and then just rolling Ice +2 on his fighter.
Yeah.
Knowing him, it's
But
probably on his fighter.
but here we go. Already through the loot plate. ADR doing a little encounter manip outside of Earth, looking to just get as long of a walk as possible. I don't know. Big worm.
Yeah, I think one of those things that we look for going into Temple of Fiends, especially on the other characters, your secondary, tertiary characters, is that hit point value being above 400. Like, normally at this point, I'd be nervous because any nuke could wipe out everyone except that fighter, except for the fact that the fighter has life too, so you have an automatic backup strat in case something like that happens.
All right, Lich 2 pulled here. We did have... Oh, goodbye, Lich 2. We did have Medusas with Frost. Ambushing Agma. This is probably fine. This is just a minor setback.
Yeah.
But
well, and we have the Ribbon +4. We have Aegis and Dragon on that fighter. The Thief has natural resist to death, fire, and lightning. And red mages are red mages. They can just... It doesn't matter. So we're rolling.
Agama bushed. There's something there. There's something there. I'll workshop when I come back to it. Agama bushed.
All right, so now the question is, how many rounds is it going to take to put down Carrie? I'm going 2.
I mean, we already got a quad X queued up. 117, 82. Uh-oh, Carrie got her own quad X. I don't think that quad X is going to hit. Bad turn order there for Deadpulse 3. I think it was 254.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that quad X again, see if it sticks now. Nope. Bad turn order. Little baby fade. Alright, lightning 2, that's fine. It's fine. Oh, did we just double fighter? Did we just double fighter? Oh, I'm so hyped for this.
Yeah, I love that play for ADR. Especially, he doesn't have that Katana +3. He's got the Ninja and the X-Cal. Ice 2 and the X-Cal. Yeah, you absolutely throw 2 fighters in there and go to town.
And look at all these life 2 charges he's got. He's got well, I mean, both runners have 3 life casters, but that might be a play of the game.
Yeah. Well, he's putting the Vorpal +4 on him. That's a beautiful play. I really like ADR's final setup.
I mean, we know that Chaos is thick with Cure 4 and Nuke. So, and ADR knows that.
Yeah.
Deadpulse doesn't. Deadpulse didn't check the bats. SN by no 4th orb here, just the 3 that are specific ones that are set with the seed. So 5 hits, 86, Kraken 2.
Ooh, 3 hits, only 200. Yeah.
A little absorb, a little bit of evasion. Deadpulse, not a lock guy. Not going to cast lock, not going to buy lock. Just prefers raw damage. Another lightning 2 out of the pool. That's one that Chaos isn't going to have. But no HP.
Yeah, and we're going to kick right into Tia 2 as ADR makes his way onto Lich's floor. Probably going to have a quick Lich fight, just like he had a quick Lich 1. Deadpulse ended up knocking out Lich with 1 swing of that X-Cal +2, and now we get to see what Tia's going to look like. Early fast cast, getting the turn order onto that fighter. Fade does 146. The X-Cal does 400, and did not see what came out of the Ninja. So we're probably like 600 or 700 HP right now. So that's about 1,000. We're almost at vanilla, and there goes Tia 2.
Right. Low rolled Topher so far.
Well, low rolled Topher or high rolled literally everything else.
Yeah.
High rolled armor, high rolled weapons, high rolled everything.
Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, this is no easy feat. I mean, both of our runners in tow for 46 minutes in. Like, this is blistering fast for both runners here. All right, we got our last fast. We're gonna ruse. We're gonna invis too.
Like
Test
early
swing.
safe.
Test swing, 3 hits, 63 damage. That's not a warm fuzzy. Lightning 2 does significant damage to our non-ribboned mages. Time for some tempers and more invis 2s. Another 3 hits, 63 damage. We are in very treacherous territory with our HPs for Deadpulse. 8 hits, 189. Like, we're getting there.
With 2 tempers and Excal +2. Wow.
5 hits, 128. 3 hits, 119, and there's the Cure 4.
There's the Cure 4. That was 3 or 4 spells in, I think.
Yeah, it was like Lightning 2, Ice 2. There might have been another one in there, but
yeah,
this is a spell-happy chaos, and there's fast.
There's fast.
Less of an issue with the amount of evasion that we've got in.
Well, and if we're throwing spells out, I mean, there's only so many spells that you can cast. The stun hitting the red mage, which is taking out that temper caster. 5 hits, 424, now getting a little bit more of that damage with the fighter.
That nuke has got to be coming.
Yeah. Now we're starting to do some of that damage. This might take out the white mage. 2 hit points left. Swing, swing, wait. Just going to sacrifice the rest of the characters and focus on that fighter. 3 hits, 62. 5 hits, 448. And terminated. Deadpulse. Finishing off Chaos.
Jeez.
GG's to Deadpulse.
I bet you that nuke was coming.
Yeah.
That was like 7 spells in with that fire to 3. Man.
Official race town time of 48 minutes, 48 seconds.
All right, an ADR already onto Tia 2, so kind of caught up in a hurry. We're gonna fast the Excal, 3 hits, 363. Here comes the fast in the wrong order. Vorpal swings, 1 damage. Fade pops off for 154. We're gonna swing, swing, wait, and final fade. Fasted Excal, 6 hits, 473. Say goodnight to Tia 2 for ADR. And we got a Deadpulse with us.
Ooh.
Sound a little muffled there, buddy. Gotta catch your breath.
Yeah, I ran 3 victory laps around my house afterwards.
All right, here comes ADR's Chaos Fight. We're gonna swap our swords, put the Vorpal on the on the Ruse stick, second slot fighter, and here comes the fast. Here comes the fade. Lightning 2 opens up. We know this was a spell-happy chaos. ADR did talk to the spoiler bats and know that a nuke is in this pool. But already getting damage in with that Vorpal.
Yeah.
And here come the locks. Chaos.
Ooh, and there goes the white mage.
Goodbye, white mage. With 7 hits, 385. 4 hits, 19.
Yeah, and I don't think we've seen the Ice 2 yet. Once that Ice 2 comes out, we know the Cure 4 is coming right after that.
Yeah. Alright, another Vorpal swing. 6 hits, 373. Alright, Cure 4 is on next.
Yeah.
Alright, Vorpal, go! Vorpal, go! Oh, temper before the Vorpal. Vorpal swings! 7 hits, 713.
Hey!
Wow. GG's to ADR. A tale of 2 chaos fights. Deadpulse, ADR, both in the booth with us. GG's to both of you. I'm out of breath.
You didn't run 3 victory laps around your house.
All right, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. No, I did when you eliminated me out of the tournament. ADR, GG's, man. A heartbreaker right there.
Oh yes. It was a close one though. I can't complain.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I had my question that was on my mind was actually for you, ADR. What was your thought about levels as you were running through this particular seed? Because you had your fighter with 3 stone party members that you kept out for a while. Seemed like you were trying to do a walking grind. What was going through your mind in terms of levels prepping for Topher?
So the bats told me that chaos is somewhat scary, but also they said, quote, not very tough, which is bat talk for relatively low HP. So my thought was, if I can just get enough damage, and there's a plus strength bonus, and get enough damage out of that to take him down quick, I don't have to worry about the nuke. So the idea there was get in the mid-20s-ish and then go. And I did spend a little bit more time on fights than it probably should have, but in the end, the levels turned out about right for me.
Yeah, from the booth, it seemed like any time lost early was made up, like because like you did ordeals, and I think that cost you some time because Deadpulse did ordeals but didn't follow through with the slab to the bottle to the Vorpal. But that Vorpal ended up being critical in your in-game strategy. So was when you checked the Vorpal bat or the spoiler bats, was Vorpal part of that plan then?
Well, that always depends on where it rolls. Yesterday, the Vorpal was like -3 and it was basically useless. Today it was +4 and it was doing excellent work. And so you never want to count on it because it could roll down, but there's a good chance you're going to pick up a couple other options. I did one seed earlier in the tournament with a silver dagger, so you can make it work, but you just take something that rolls up and use it.
Deadpulse, GG's game 2. You are a victory away from championship. How you feeling right now?
Well, it feels good. I'm not gonna lie. My first game, my strategy was to come out swinging. This one, I played it a little more conservative. Hence the ordeals played before going to the waterfall. But I don't like how close these are. It doesn't give me any comfort.
Yeah, ADR, like there's like I know often discussed is the FFR imposter syndrome, and I know we've talked about it. It's just like I think this in and of itself, an 80-second difference between you and Deadpulse. It's remarkable to see how far you've come in this tournament, and Danny in chat pointing out that the early Marsh wipes may have been the difference, and that's just combat RNG going to do combat RNG things. Deadpulse, did you see the gargoyles in Marsh by chance?
No.
Yeah.
So ADR, I'm sorry, you got the typical experience I often have, which is seeing all of the ugly and Deadpulse seeing nothing. So that
Follow-up question. Deadpulse, did you see the Sahags in the sea?
No, I didn't. So that was part of it. Before you laugh, I know. There was a long run at the end of the encounter table. So before Marsh, you'll notice that I didn't take any fights on the way down to the incentive. And I warped 2 floors back, and I think I took 1 fight on the way out.
Yeah,
and that is because I manipulated to get to that. And then the sea fights, they were both close together, so I just reset out of them.
Yeah.
The sea fights, those Sahags did end up helping ADR a little bit, because those, on the way to turning the floater, the stone poison turned everybody to statues, minus the fighter, so...
We had this stone poison. I think Sahags had the damage poison. Lit 2 from sharks. Deadpulse saw the quad X coming out of the werewolves that I'm not sure ADR had. So that first, I mean, that was a definitely a clenching first couple minutes on the overworld. But I think you guys both just launched out of Marsh and didn't really slow down from there.
I have one question, then I'll stop talking and let you do your thing, Davis. we'll start with ADR and then we'll go to Deadpulse. How did we feel about all the gear that we found? The armor, the swords.
Well, I couldn't complain. Happy to see it, and that's why once I got to see him, just go moding it because it was good enough already.
Yeah. Deadpulse, thoughts on all this gear?
So I sat for, I'm going to say 40 minutes of the seed going, I can't believe I pulled the key out of Marsh and didn't check the locked below it. I hope Xcal wasn't, it was an Xcal +5, it obviously was.
It was actually an Opal +2 shield down there, which is still pretty good early on, but I mean, until you find the Aegis +3 next to an Ice +4 shield or whatever. Yeah. And the Ice +5 armor and the Dragon +2
actually,
armor.
I think the Xcal was somewhere around there too.
Yeah, it was in the same room. It was all in Waterfall. Yeah. Plus Waterfall.
Here, have a complete set of armor.
Meanwhile, it's just some fighter died down there. And the robot's like, look at this stuff I found.
I gave up on the Wood Adept on the Red Mage pretty quick because I'm too lazy to do this.
Yeah, well, you found that gold +5 bracelet that you threw on him, and it was like, okay, well, you can evade, or you can just not take damage. So speaking of which, classes. So ADR, you picked up that fighter right at the very end. Was that something you were hoping for, or was there like a specific character that you were hoping to run into throughout the run? Or was it just at the very end, oh, I've got all this gear, a thief who doesn't have anything, I'm just going to grab the fighter?
Yeah, it was really just a thing of opportunity. My feeling through most of these is the recruitment's not really worth it. The character is worth taking, I would have done it at Party Select. But this time, I'm sitting on an Xcal of Waffle, and sure, a ninja can do that too, but I didn't really have the levels, and a fighter can pick up another life too, a little bit more hit points, and with a plus strength bonus, make a little bit more out of the secondary sword.
Yeah, I think that was absolutely the right play. I mean, it was the perfect play for that moment, with all the gear you had, and I think you can see that in your time through Topher, which was substantially shorter. Deadpulse, what were you thinking? Classes going into this?
Well, the Red Mage had plus temper, so I knew I got 2 automatic charges of temper. And in theory, if you have a rolled up Vorpal, that's all you need against Chaos. Like it's the bare minimum, and I was happy with that. Then when I saw temper at level 2, I'm like, oh, womp womp. Fast at level 6, yes, the correct slot. Otherwise, that would have not been pleasant. I would have switched out for the Black Mage, absolutely. Gotcha.
I think that's all I got on my mind. Caleb, do you have any other questions?
This was a lot of fun, Davis. ADR, best of luck in Game 3, man. If there's anybody that's going to pull out a 3-game run, it's you, buddy. I believe in you. Deadpulse. I hope you lose. No. No, Deadpulse, a great runner. Like both of you deserve to be here, and it's just a lot of fun to watch this game be played at this level.
Yeah,
well done to both of you.
Yeah, I definitely want to give you guys some time for final thoughts. Not going to ask you to share any strategies for your next run, which is, I believe, tomorrow night at 7:40. But any final thoughts that you have after this run, prepping for the make or break Game 3, and we're going to start with Deadpulse.
Oh my. I actually haven't formulated what kind of strategy I'm going with, so even if I could, I couldn't share it. But this has been a lot of fun, and I love these kind of close games where it's just, one thing goes wrong and, someone gets a 2-minute lead. It really brings the intensity to it. And I'm looking forward to another tough game. ADR, you're great, and I will see you tomorrow.
Good. ADR, thrown over to you.
Well, I do want to make one point about battle RNG. When you look at these, there's all these events that maybe the battle RNG could have went differently, but also there is a skill involved to mitigate that. Sometimes it's levels, sometimes it's encounter manip. And I tried to encounter manip going into the marsh, and I did it slightly wrong. Sounds like Deadpulse did it dead on. And that's something we can, maybe I'll do it right tomorrow. Never know. We'll see.
Yeah, Encounter Manip. It's one of those things that I love about this game, that you can learn about Encounter Manip, and it seems so simple. I remember as a duckling watching Ale run through a seed, Ale Markin in chat, and watching him do Encounter Manip just blew my mind. And there's so many tiny little things like that you get to learn. Yes, you, sitting out there in the audience. If
Me?
you are interested... Yes, you, buddy! No, but seriously, if you are interested in Final Fantasy Randomizer, if you're interested in the intensity, if you love the strategy element and love to talk about statistics and what weapons and the blur syncs and all of these different things that we have, please join us on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. Danny just put the links in chat. FinalFantasyRandomizer.com not only has a link to the Discord, but is the actual randomizer itself. And there is a huge list of hints to help you understand each of the individual flags. And Kayla mentioned this earlier, Saracen and Luffy are running our Duckling Boot Camp coming up in the next couple weeks, which is specifically designed to teach you how to play the game, to teach you all the tips and tricks and strategies. And at the very end of that, we have a Duckling tournament, which is specifically for new players to the game. Every runner gets to race every single race leading up to the finals. And it's where I got my start. It's a fantastic opportunity. You meet some great people and really get to jump in with the community. So if you're interested, I highly recommend. And maybe you'll be the next Deadpulse V ADR in an upcoming tournament.
Davis, do you know why they call them ducklings? Because they're just getting their feet wet.
Oh, God.
I mean, come on, that's the whole... Good night, everybody. It's literally it.
I'm gonna go away.
The more you know. Davis, thank you so much for joining me in the booth, talking FFR with me. Maple, thank you so much for tracking. Dark Moon, thank you so much for doing the restream. If you're out there watching, still hanging out, we appreciate you.